I did not stay focused and I let something very special slip through my fingers. And I was so excited for that moment with Rhea, but now I honestly just don't know how to get it back on track. I am deeply, deeply craving a real championship match with Rhea.
So, Natty, Natalya, welcome to the Apter chat here at Sportskeeda. In regards from all the Sportskeeda social media team, they tell me periodically they chat with you, so I send their regards. So yeah,
thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I got a bunch of things here before we get started to show you. So this hat you recognized before we started recording. It's Stu Hart's 80th birthday, and he and Helen signed this for me and gave it to me.
That's so special. And I love so much, Bill, I love so much that you have such a deep appreciation and respect for the history of the industry.
Oh, well, I do. And actually, I was going to wear my Halloween costume today, but my wardrobe mistress wasn't here, so I couldn't get it on.
I love that. That's so cool.
I
love that. Rocking the Hitman.
Yes, the best there. You know, I used to do my bad imitation of him, which he loved. You know, no one knows why I came back to Not too bad, right?
Not bad at all. It's definitely, what did Brett say? I got a lot of soul searching.
I've got a lot of soul searching to do, which is why I came back. So. Anyway, welcome. You've never been on the Apter chat. We've known each other forever, so I'm glad you're here at the Sportskeeda Apter chat. And I want to start off with when you hear the name Neidhart and Hart, what goes through you that you're part of this?
I never take it for granted where I came from. I never take it for granted my family's legacy and lineage. And I think about my grandfather Stu Hart, my uncles Owen, Brett, the Dynamite Kid, the British Bulldog, my dad, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and to be the first woman in the Hart family representing this unbelievable legacy. It's just so special to me, and that's why I hold it with a lot of responsibility. Yeah. And I just never take it for granted. I love my family, but I'm also grateful for the road that they paved for me to do what I love.
Yes, and how long have you been doing this now? You've been in WWE for how many years?
I have been in WWE for 16 years.
Yeah.
It's kind of unprecedented to have 16 near uninterrupted years. The most time I've ever really had off is 3 months when I had my nose injury last November. But 16 uninterrupted years in WWE. So it's awesome, but I started wrestling. I had my first match in the early 2000s, so 2001. So I've been doing this for 22 years.
Wow. Well, you're still great at it, and you still look fabulous. You really do.
Thank you so much. I started when I was young, so there you go.
You did, and I knew you back then, back in the dungeon days. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
The Stu Hart dungeon days. So in the meantime, you spent hours and hours and hours preparing for your match at Night of Champions, wrestling, getting all the way to the top, and then all that time traveled on the airplane to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and boom, in a few minutes it was all over. Dominic Mysterio. What do you want to say?
It's funny. I've lost so much sleep over that match, and I really it's honestly, Bill, it's had a profound effect on me, because when I was first told that I was going to be at Night of Champions facing off against Rhea Ripley, I thought, first of all, it's a dream match, because I look at Rhea Ripley and I think Rhea Ripley is like a generational talent. And you have myself, and I'm very, very proud of my own career. Most matches, most wins, most pay-per-view matches, most WrestleMania matches, most submission wins of any man or woman in WWE. And I think I've done so much. And I mean, even just the importance of what Saudi Arabia is to me, as far as I was the first woman, along with Lacey Evans, to break ground in Saudi Arabia for other women around the world to be able to live their dreams. Not just in pro wrestling, but it was something that, like, that first match that we had in Saudi Arabia, it transcended professional wrestling. It was something for women around the world. And so I looked at like how excited I was about that opportunity with her in Saudi Arabia. And a lot of people have pointed the finger at Dominic Mysterio. Dom was disrespectful to me. I mean, and not in the same way that he was disrespectful to his dad, but he was just saying things that were rude. Like, you're not on mommy's level and you suck and you don't belong here and you've only gotten here because of your family. Like, those were some of the things that he was saying to me. And so I just kind of turned around and like took my eyes off Rhea. And that's why I'm so upset, because I did not stay focused and I let something very special slip through my fingers. And I was so excited for that moment with Rhea, but now I honestly just don't know how to get it back on track. I am deeply, deeply craving a real championship match with Rhea. Are you
in a rut at this point? Is that what you're saying?
What I feel like with Rhea, especially after Night of Champions, is I feel like she underestimates me. I don't think that she thinks that I have what it takes to be in the ring with her. I don't think that she respects my veteran status. I think that after she beat me so fast, I think that she was not only really proud of herself, but I think that she just kind of looked down upon me as if I didn't matter. And then it got me to thinking, like, to be brutally honest, like, do I matter? Do I matter? Like, what is my significance? What is my significance? Like, do I belong in this women's division? Do I still have what it takes? Like, those are things, in all honesty, that have crossed my mind where I'm like, I know what I've done and I know what I bring to the table, and I still continue to train weekly in my own ring, which is, you know, to me, such a cool thing to be able to possess my own wrestling ring, to own it and to have it and to be able to train there weekly. But that match at Night of Champions, it really affected my confidence. It affected the way, like, I viewed myself. It affected my, like, way that I thought maybe I'm not what I thought I was. And I know Rhea, like, the vibe that I get from Rhea is that she doesn't really see me as a threat, and she doesn't really think that I matter. And she's happy that Dom did that, and she's very proud of it. Yeah. And she was thrilled to celebrate with Dom, and that was just what made her happy. She didn't care about me. And in all honesty, I don't know why she would have cared about me, because I didn't represent myself well at Night of Champions.
Yeah, but you have a hell of a reputation. People have said to me, some of the questions that have asked me since that match happened, would you consider going to get back on track, going to NXT and maybe working there for a while as well?
Any time I've ever been presented with going to NXT, I never, ever, ever look at it as a step down. Right. Because one of the most significant matches in my entire career was when Triple H asked me to go to NXT and to work with a newcomer named Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
And that was in 2014. And it was truly, besides the match I had with Lacey in Saudi Arabia, the match that I have with Charlotte Flair in 2014 was my WrestleMania moment. It was the most special match of my career, because I was able to show what I could do in the ring, along with taking a brand new woman that nobody really knew or nobody really believed in yet, and say, this is what she's capable of, but look what I'm capable of. It was kind of one of those, like, that match against Charlotte was one of those, like, matches that went down in history that today people still talk about it. Yes. In the same light that they talk about Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper, or Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, or Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio. Like, that match with Charlotte was so special. So that happened at NXT. I had an awesome rivalry against Cora Jade last year at NXT. And so Shawn Michaels wanted me to come down and to wrestle and compete against Cora. To me, it is an honor to go to NXT. And it's funny, because this past week I was on Main Event, and somebody had said something to me like, oh, you were on Main Event. Didn't you want to be on Raw? There's no area in our company that I feel that I'm above. Whether I get asked to do Main Event, whether I'm asked to do NXT, if I was asked to go to SmackDown, or whatever corner it is, it's WWE. It's very, very special. to me, like, I think I have to go through a little bit of a rebuilding phase within myself. It's not even like I feel like I'm in competition at this moment with Rhea. I actually feel like I'm in more competition with myself to prove to myself that I'm okay. You know, and I think it's important to talk about this kind of stuff because so many times people, especially the men and women of WWE, we're always kind of programmed and conditioned that we have to be strong at all times. We have to look like we're in control. We have to look like we're on top. We have to look like, you know, we're just very, very much company people. And I'm a huge company girl. I didn't last.
You're an athlete. Athletes have their ups and downs. Just
yeah. And I didn't last 16 years in WWE by being a dummy. But I also am smart enough to recognize that, hey, this was a down moment for my career and we have to find a way to rebuild.